How's it going, guys? I'm in my 65 CJ5 and I'm going to be taking out all the wires behind this grill so I can eventually just take it off. So what you want to do if you're going to do this yourself, granted this is a very old car that doesn't really have any electronics to it, but what you want to do is take pictures of it, because you can see it still kind of is a little bit of a rat's nest, and then whenever you take something off, you want to label it, as I did right here. So that's key bottom left, which means it goes on the key switch on this bottom left, because there's three. There's the upper, and then there's the right, and then there's also the middle. Alright guys, so it's been the next day. It snowed last night, and we finished taking apart this whole Jeep. As you can tell, it's almost out. We still have the steering wheel. This actually is very hard to get off. We need a steering wheel puller, and then we're going to try to slide the whole body off of it. There's all the wires. We did label them all. There's not that many, so we shouldn't get confused. So in this fuel pump, they had that little blue stuff. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can a little bit. It's down because we took off the gas tank too, but we figured out what that was. So on this gas tank, there's this little blue gasket that was for sealing top, and it fell in there. So this hose right here would suck it up through there, and it would end up in that fuel pump. So we figured out what that was. Okay guys, so besides it being super dirty, there's also a really bad rust hole right here. And the gas tank was new, so I'm gonna assume that the gas tank rusted because of this. So we're gonna patch a panel right here, and then all the body rails that hold the body to the frame, basically, those are all rusted too. So I'm gonna actually weld those back on, or weld new sheet metal onto it, and we're gonna get new bolts to mount it down to the frame, because we pretty much stripped every single one of them. But next up, we're going to pull the steering wheel, and then we're going to pull the body off. Alright guys, to take off the steering wheel, there's this little rubber cap right here and a little nut that you have to twist off. I believe it's 1.5 inches. We just took it out with some vice grips, so didn't have to worry about it. And then there's this little collar right here that goes on top of here, like that, and the nut twists on. So you take all that stuff off, and then you can get a steering wheel puller like this. This one actually did not work. I'm going to actually show you how I got it off. So when you get this, you're not going to be able to just pull it straight off like any other, maybe like a go-kart or something. What you have to do is get one of those steering wheel pullers, put it underneath this lip right here, and pry. But what I did is I took this tiny hammer and just hit these spots right here. As you could see, I kind of broke that one, but we're going to replace this anyway because it is broken right there, and on the other side too. And it's also broken there and down there. But yeah, you just take it and you just hit it, and very slowly. If it's rusted, you might have to get some penetrating fluid, but all you do is you just lightly tap like this, maybe even a little harder, and then eventually it will just pop off, and you could just take the whole steering wheel off like that. So now it's time to take the whole body off. So before you take the body off, you want to make sure your whole place is clean, because you can see mine is kind of messy. So I'm going to take the window, the fenders up there, and then the tailgate and the hood. I'm going to bring those into my garage, and I'm going to clean this whole place up, and I'm going to bring the body in. Now with the power of fast forwarding, alright, it's all cleaned up now. I did leave the tailgate and the fenders up there because they're not really in the way too much, but it's all cleaned up. We're about to bring the body in. Let me show you how we took the body off. Alright, so now with that all cleaned up, the bolts that you have to take out in this Jeep, there's one right there, one on the other side in the same spot, one underneath the box right there, and then there's one right there. I don't know if you could see it. We already took it out, but there's one right there, and then there's one on the same spot on the other side. And then this one is a tricky one. Let's see if I can get you in there. Okay. So there's one in between the fender, or the body where the grill kind of would be, and the frame, which is the bumper. So it's right there, and then there's also, oops, sorry, it's right there, and then there's one also on the other side But yeah, those are the 7 bolts you have to take out. On your application, you might have more, you might have less, but I highly doubt you'd have less because this is kind of a bare bones type of car. So, alright guys, so we got the Jeep covered up. Just kidding. Alright, so we got the Jeep off the frame, and it looks quite good. Not really. You can see there's a whole bunch of rust here. The fender, or not the fender, the body rails just all rotted away. They still have the original wood that they put under there, which I think is ridiculous. But yeah, as you can see, it's just wrecked. But we're gonna clean all this off, probably in the next episode. But thank you all for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I am really enjoying this now, so have a good rest of your day, and stay tuned for more cleaning up and possibly painting in the near future.